Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson, the #1 educator in the asset recovery business. Today, we have a great video. We are here with Ashley. She has been crushing it. We are going to talk about the few deals that she just got, and we're going to get some insight. So, Ashley, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and the deals that you just retained.
Okay, so my name is Ashley, and I've been doing the surplus business for about a year. Actually, started doing it part time, so I was working a full time job and doing this on the side. Started taking it serious this year, March. Since then, I went full time, and from that point on, I've just been crushing it. So far, I've secured 5 deals. They're all in Florida. Mostly, what I can say about getting the deals is you got to stay consistent, keep calling, and that's basically what I did.
Absolutely. So that's awesome. So the 5 deals that you got, let's talk about that first deal, because I know taking information and applying it is really what separates those who have success from those who don't. So what
Right.
was like the deal breaker for you that made you say, okay, I have the knowledge, I know what to do, and what caused you to just hop right into it? When you got your first deal, was it a cold call? Did you send out a text message? Did you message them on Facebook? How did you find that first deal?
So actually, my first deal was pretty tough. She was homeless. So I had no contact information for her. I didn't give up, but I was searching and searching. And finally, I saw her post a TikTok from her Facebook page, but she was active on TikTok. So I messaged her and through TikTok, and she responded to me within like an hour. And I gave her my number. I told her, call me, please. I found some money for you. And from that point on, she called me. We stayed in contact. And that's how we end up getting a deal. I met up with her. She lived behind a Family Dollar on the streets, actually. So when we met up, she was a little hesitant, of course, because she said in the past people were trying to harass her and steal her ID and, make her do these things that she didn't want to do. So she knew about the money. She just never moved forward. But we built a relationship, and then she ended up trusting me, and she wanted to move forward because she needed money. She was literally panhandling on the street. We built that bond. I visited her maybe once a week at that same Family Dollar, and we would meet up and just talk. I would buy her food, and then she finally said, "You know what, Ashley? I trust you. You seem like a genuine person. I need this money because I don't want to be on the streets anymore, and I want to do this deal." And so, yeah, we did it, and it wasn't a quick process, but again, I stayed consistent and I kept going, and she finally said yes. And actually, her deal was for 192,000.
Wow.
I did that at 40%.
It's amazing. See, that right there is what separates individuals. So a lot of people think, in Florida that it's oversaturated. You just
Oh
explained
no.
that your client just had, all these companies calling and harassing. But I say, hey, look, just because there's other companies or bigger firms that are contacting them, that doesn't mean that they're automatically going to work with them. They're going to choose the
Absolutely.
people who they actually trust. And the fact that you were there every week, buying her meals, building the relationship and the trust, and
Yep.
allowed you to get 40% on 192. And that's amazing. Life-changing money for her, of course, helping her situation. And then for you, kickstarting your surplus funds business. So that's amazing. So once
Yep.
you got that first deal, that first check, how did it feel? Proof of concept,
It
tasting that money.
actually made me want to go a little bit harder. I already had other deals in the works, which my next deal was a similar situation. She was homeless, except there were other companies offering her money up. People were offering her money up front,
Hmm.
and she still ended up working with me. So yes, Florida is it's a lot of people work in Florida, but all of my deals came from Florida.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is possible. You just got to stay consistent. And just because there are a million companies calling these people, that doesn't mean that, they're
Yeah.
going to work they feel comfortable working with. So
What have you found to be your best marketing strategy for obtaining your deals?
all of them, I met up with them directly. So,
The face is undefeated. Yep, they can see you and know that it's
yeah,
legitimate.
face to face. All of my deals were face to face, except one lady in Tampa and Hillsborough County but it was the same. She knew about the process already. I just so happened to call her. I don't even know. It was like it was God, because
Mm.
she said so many people were calling her. He wasn't even answering her phone for people
But she
anymore.
picked up yours. Yep.
Yeah, I ended up calling one morning and I was like, just, hey, how you doing? And she was at work and we talked and I told her, a little bit about myself and, the reason I was calling. She already knew. She was like, yeah, I know I got this money, but right now I'm dealing with some other things. And she just started telling me her story and I listened. That was the key. I listened to her talk. I didn't cut her off. I wasn't so upfront with what I'm trying to charge her. And, I wasn't moving fast. I listened to her vent because she was venting and I listened to her talk. And then she said, you know what? You're the first person that I talked to that actually let me talk. Everybody else kept cutting me off and wouldn't listen. And they would just, they just wanted to file this claim. And she was like, you know what? My intuition tells me that God sent me to you. God sent you to me for a reason. And I think I want you to do my claim. She was like, somebody just called me before you and I told them I was okay. But I want to work with you. So I'm going to let you file my claim. And then she said, I know that people charge between 10 and 30%. So, I'm okay with all of that stuff. We'll discuss that. But whatever you charge is okay with me. I only want, XYZ of the money. And so
Yeah.
what's left over you can have. And I was shocked because I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So
Yeah.
it's the stories like that that just keep me going and keep me motivated. I mean, I enjoy what I do. And like I say with everybody, get on the phone and make those calls and meet up with them people because you just never know. You just
Hmm.
don't give up because like I said, a lot of the deals that I got, it wasn't like yes today. But through time and building that relationship and letting them trust you, they eventually say yes.
Exactly. Absolutely. Follow up is definitely the name of the game. So that's great insight right there for all the viewers out there. You guys can see that it takes, personality and listening and building, rapport with the clients. We're not just trying to file the claim immediately, call somebody, hey, 30% sign the document. You want to
Exactly.
make a friend first.
Yep.
So on your deals that you have now, you're full time. How do you compare this business to, what you were doing before or previous streams of income that you've done?
For me, I always been a people's person. So for me, this was easy. It was to me a piece of cake. Like, okay, call, make some phone calls, build some relationships, and help some people. That was right up my alley. I
Yeah.
mean, you're literally just helping them get something that's already there. If you can just build that trust, which is something I'm good at, it's easy.
Absolutely. So on the deals that you've accumulated so far, do you think that the time that you've put into this business, like the hours to actually file the claim, not the hours that you waited, how would you compare the dollar amount that you received? I already know in that first deal, you got 40% on that 190.
My salary. So
You broke up. You said you did what?
I've tripled my salary
Wow.
job. So yeah, it
That's a
man,
blessing right there. I'm sorry, I have to applaud you for that. So
yes, the
your
time,
job that you were doing previously, were you working a 9 to 5 or how many hours were you working?
yes, I was.
A 9 to 5, and that's an annual salary, and you tripled that.
Yeah, man, if anybody out there is interested or feeling discouraged, man, keep going
Hmm.
and consistent. Get on the phone and make the phone calls. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. And be consistent because that's what it's about. If I hadn't stayed consistent with none of the people that I made contact with, they would have went with other people. One of my clients, somebody offered her $10,000 up front to leave, to stop working with me, and she almost took it, but
Yeah.
because we had built a relationship already prior to
Yeah.
that, she just told me, she was like, yeah, they're trying to give me this money and I really need it, but I'm gonna stick with you.
Wow,
So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. I love hearing these stories, and I'm sure that everybody that is watching is definitely going to appreciate the gems that you dropped today. Thank you very much.